Alright, hey everybody, this is CodeChibi's. We're basically doing something that we never have actually done before. We'll probably do this for any other games if we feel like it. This is our thoughts video of Metroid Prime 4. We currently did not finish it 100% because
No.
I was getting a little bit tired. But we want to go ahead and give this video to go ahead and say what our thoughts are. Overall, the
Yeah.
experience of the game was fine. It wasn't really much of a slog from going from point A to point B. It started to become a slog once we hit collecting the crystals in the desert, and we kind of started to see
Yeah.
the calming issue of the desert segment. For one thing, there's not much in it. There's just the centered Kronos Tower and a bunch of little segments that you have to go through to get a bunch of mech parts. While you're getting those mech parts, you only have 3 enemy types, well 4 if you're on the ground for too long, 3 enemy types that chase you down. You have the weird rolling Goron mech thing, you have the flying flyers, and you have the bird
The
looking
flyers.
dudes, and that's it. I don't really
And
know
you
what
got
they're
the little
called.
monkey dudes.
Yeah, you have the monkey dudes that just stay on the
And the
ground for too long.
slugs.
Oh, there's slugs too? I thought there were
Well,
fire
the desert
dudes.
slug
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. The slugs, the weird, the Dongo,
Yeah, the Dodongo
dudes.
slugs.
You don't really interact with the Dawoop guys until till a certain segment where it eats one of the mech parts and you have to fight it.
Yeah.
Not a very interesting boss fight in my honest opinion. That one was kind of like because like I said, Viola doesn't really have much going for her. Like the mech Viola is interesting to ride around with. Do I think that she was utilized fully in the game?
Eh, somewhat.
I mean,
I feel like the beginning of the you more so utilize her a lot, and of course there were like two bosses that utilize her.
Yeah, there was one with the fire area, and then the other one was
With the slug.
with the slug that we had to fight for one of the parts. The areas themselves, they're elemental based. Like you have ice, fire, thunder, underground, I guess, and forest, I think. But yeah, they're basically elemental related instead of being like the traditional normal mech looking area. I don't know how to really explain it too much, but they more so focus on like the elementals, like the ice area that we were at, and they're focusing on a lot of ice themes because it was frozen over and we had to cool it down and to be able to go ahead and get like the energy back up. Then you have the fire area where we had to end up getting a Viola upgrade to allow us to ski over the lava area, and also utilize the ice shot to be able to kind of end up freezing the lava and whatnot. The thing I will say is that the areas are fine for the first time. Backtracking to get certain particular power-ups and items is a bit on the tedious side. Mainly because of the enemies that we had to deal with. And that is the nanobots themselves. The nanobots I don't really like. When we first fought one of them, when they kind of went rogue when we were going to one of the new areas the first time, it was interesting, but they did a lot of damage. I feel that this game, they do a lot of damage.
More damage.
Like we're playing on normal. Obviously, you can't play it on hard mode, but I don't know what it is.
Until you beat the game once.
It's like they did a lot of damage to you. I don't know why they did a lot of damage to you, but everything in this game hurts. It felt like that I was essentially playing Metroid Fusion, where Samus is weak in that game. In fact, I thought Samus was weak in this game and that her beam could not power up at all until we were able to get the first upgrade from the fruit. Once we got the first upgrade from the fruit, and that's when I kind of realized, oh, I guess we were essentially missing these. And I thought that upgrading the beam, it would have made the game significantly easier. Not too easy to the point where just curve stop everything, easy
but
enough
teamable.
to go ahead and be not as tedious and have the enemies be too damage spongy. Fortunately, that wasn't the case. The nano machine guys still take forever to die.
Also, a minor nitpick. I don't like how when you're like that one part where you were going inside a tube and you still get hit.
Yeah, enemies still have considering the fact of the way how the loading of this game works, it's more real time than actual loading like in the other 3 Metroid Prime games. Enemies can hit you, especially in certain segments. There's a part where we were going inside a hole where you have to get I think a missile expansion, and there's a hole that kind of takes, there's like a tube that takes you back to one of the entrances of the area. It's in the volcano place, and if you try to go there without taking care of the the three the spawning nanobots, and where they spawn in twos, they will shoot you, and they probably can kill you because they do a lot of damage anyway. So you kind of want to just be careful in that. I think, have we stated that the desert was underutilized and wasn't really that interesting to explore? I think we did. I think we mentioned that. It was the bosses. The bosses were interesting. I liked the bosses.
Yeah.
The bosses were pretty fun. They weren't really that. They were very, like, they weren't hard. Like, they were not hard. They did hit hard, but they weren't like that overly complex. Most bosses in the Prime series are usually not that complex. They're usually kind of very easy to beat. But these guys, there were like 5 of them, and obviously the final boss. I like the final boss second phase over the first phase. I'm not really a fan of the first phase. I feel the first phase kind of takes a little bit too long.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, we kind of got that from the Silex fight. Like, it did take a long time to get through before going to the next phase.
Yeah, and bosses, like, even though they took like, they have multiple phases. They had like 3 phases, but I don't know. I think I don't know how people would prefer. Would they prefer just being able to just destroy the boss? Like, because it's weird and it's a little bit inconsistent, because Silex, the 2 clones that you fight, and then you end up fighting him for real in the second phase of the final boss fight. You can keep hitting him, and I kind of wish that that's how the bosses were. Like, I understand you have to find their weak point. Like, I think the dragon boss was kind of like on par with just being that, where you can continuously keep hitting him without him showing a weak point. You just have to use the slowdown shot to destroy his weak point to be able to just, you know, do actual damage, which, to be honest, that just felt fine. Whereas the others, you kind of have to keep shooting them until they end up either doing something, like the roly-poly guy in the ice area. Like, he has to roll into the wall to be able to show his weak point.
Which was kind of cool.
And then you had the Griever, Omega Griever boss.
Oh, right, that guy.
Which was in the Great Mines, and that was obviously a massive callback to Metroid Prime 1.
Prime 1.
You had to fight the Omega Pirate, except the difference between the Omega Pirate in that one and the fight in this one was that you can't really, like, cheat to beat him. Well, not really cheat. You couldn't obliterate him as quickly as you could if you were playing the original Prime version, where you can actually use a power bomb to destroy all of his limbs. Obviously, they fixed that in the trilogy version, but you can still kind of kill him pretty quickly in that game as well. The let me see, the music in the game. I like the forest music. The ice area didn't really have music until you powered up the place again. The volcano area, I don't think has music when you return to it because of what happens there. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't really recall a lot of the music in the game, because
like, the forest one's probably the one I can remember, and the Bolt Forge.
Yeah, the forest, the vaults, and Silex's boss theme are probably like the only ones I can remember off the top of my head.
Hold on, but we can't forget the gurgle noises of the enemies in the ice area.
Gurgle noises for enemy encounters is not, like, if you are familiar with Twilight Princess, when you meet in the Twilight enemies in the Twilight Zone, they have like that same noise. It's like that, except it's just significantly more annoying. The Griever
it's more. I think it's worse in this game.
Yeah, it's worse because, I mean, hey, at least they're telling you they're nearby. But these enemies, they were cool. They weren't like.
Wish there were more.
We needed more enemies. Like, these are technically our enemies here. Well, not these guys. These guys are chill. These guys are basically our glorified elemental shots. The psychic stuff that we did, I would say that the only one that was interesting was the psychic shot. Mainly because
the
of
slowdown one?
Yes. The reason why I say that is because all the other stuff are all from the other games. Power bombs,
Yeah.
except power bombs got nerfed. The blast radius got nerfed. Missiles, the charging shots of the, well, those are not really psychic abilities. I guess let me focus on the psychic stuff. The spider ball, the ability to the space boots is a double jump. It allows you to land on the psychic platforms. That's like the equivalent of needing the X-ray goggles from Metroid Prime 1 and the Dark Echo visor from Metroid Prime 2. So that's kind of just like, it's not really that interesting. You obviously have the boost ball, which, you know, I don't know, I kind of feel it's kind of weaker in this game. Maybe it's not. I don't really know. You obviously are not going to need the spider ball or the jump thing that she did in Metroid Prime 2, because there's not really large gaps in this game. The grappler is the grappler. That's kind of self-explanatory. It's not really much to really go off on that. Most of the abilities that you got were essentially just abilities that you would get in the other 3 games. That's it. Overall, though, the cutscenes. Now, we can talk about the characters. We obviously had the Federation forces hanging with Samus. Now, I don't know how people feel about this. I actually didn't mind them hanging with Samus. I didn't mind them talking and chatting up and sometimes joining you on certain parts of the story. My main issue is Samus herself. Since Samus doesn't really talk, it makes it really difficult to feel anything for these characters, I feel. Like, you can feel for them if you're that kind of player, and I can understand that. But me, who ends up usually are kind of used to any of these things, when I have a character that doesn't really say anything, and doesn't really have, like, any emotion to show for it, it's kind of hard for me to be like, I need my character to
You just have to put yourself in
Samus'
shoes, really.
But I can't put myself in Samus'
I know, because Samus is her own character.
She's her own character. She should be at least saying something. Like, it's not like Dread, like, it's, like, think of Dread, where she does end up, you know, talking to the machine that talks to her when you're going from point A to point B, and then you have that one sequence that happens in, 2 instances that happens in the game, but nothing of that happens. Like, there's a segment where the cast of characters are basically getting, like, knocked off left and right. But Samus, like, there's one part where the guy gets, like, taken out, or no, the girl ends up getting taken out, Armstrong, and it's just, there's nothing there. I'm not seeing anything, and I can't feel if my character is not feeling. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, if my character is not feeling, I'm not gonna feel. I mean,
I didn't mind them.
Well, no, I didn't mind them. It's just that in terms of them getting taken out left and right in that one part in the mines, Samus not showing anything. Just, it's like,
in the mines, right?
In the mines. That's what I'm talking about. Like, obviously they all came back because apparently I actually thought they were dead because I thought it was
they're not dead yet.
Like, oh no, they're not dead yet. I mean, they're dead now. they're definitely dead now. But yeah, I didn't mind them hanging with us. That was nice. You know, I'm glad that Samus...
It just gives more liveliness to this empty world.
Also, this is just me. This is a stretch. But maybe this is their way of saying, hey, Federation Force sucked. Let's kill the Federation Force, guys. See? That's probably not what they were thinking. But
they have personality.
They probably were not thinking that, but that would be kind of messed up if they were. If you manage to beat the game, not 100%, if you just manage to beat the game with the fruit, Samus ends up planting the white fruit in the actual Earth area to make the tree grow again. And also kind of pays a little bit of respect to Tabata by placing his necklace near the next to the tree as well.
Yeah,
it's very sweet. It's like, it's very bittersweet that she does do that, because that does showcase that she does care. You know, like Samus has her way of showing that she cares. It's just that not
the way that we expect. That we usually expect ourselves to showcase feelings.
Yeah, like Samus is indeed a character. So, I mean, I'm glad that, she showcases stuff. Oh, these are all cutscenes.
Yeah, these are all cutscenes.
I was wondering what these were. But yeah, it's a very interesting thing. Huh, I wonder what this cutscene is to be in the game on hard mode.
Ooh.
That seems like a cutscene and a half. But yeah, um, I guess like the reason as to why the game is the way how it is was probably because of the fact that it was in the COVID era and also in development hell.
Yeah,
So
because it
maybe,
switched from one developer to Retro Studios in the end.
mm, like maybe that's kind of the reason as to why the game kind of feels like it,
Because they
because
scrapped
it's
everything when they first started. When they, try to do it again, they scrapped everything what they did first.
yeah, it kind of makes me wonder what was the original idea for Prime 4, and was it really about the Beyond? Because like the name makes sense as to why it's named Beyond. Because unlike the other three games where we were kind of either on a planet that we're familiar with, or a certain other planet, which kind of makes me wonder if this planet, if you can find this planet in Metroid Prime 1. Because there's that
Hmm.
one area in the Space Pirate base on Talon 4 where you can find a bunch of planets. I wonder if the Lamarian's planet is in that game. That makes me wonder if it
Hmm.
is. That'd be kind of interesting.
That'd
Um,
be a major foreshadow.
that massive fucking foreshadow. Because that is a foreshadow. That basically means that they probably already had plans of us
It's
going
like,
into
oh, they
this.
planned this all along.
The other thing is that the Metroids, they were just there for like one cutscene and they kind of just dipped and didn't really bother. But I've stated that it
Yeah.
makes sense as to why they're not in the game. Because realistically, if you really think about it, Metroid's
You're
being
on a
in
different
the game,
planet.
you're on a different planet, and Metroid's being in the game would have just been just a random, hey, we got Metroid. So that's why they showed the
Well,
Metroid once and it's called it that.
well, you say they're on a different planet, but those 5 bosses that we faced were like infected with Metroid. So it's like, in a way, I think they did. They were on that planet.
Yeah, they probably were on the planet before we
They
got there, because
like
they probably are the things that infected. Well, no, because
no.
it's weird. Like the bosses were infected by the Metroids, but the Lamarians guys were affected by the green rain or whatever.
Well, okay, well, for the bosses, I feel like this is just my theory, but I feel like the Metroids couldn't last that long on this planet, so they probably had to find like a host or something, and just do whatever for those bosses, like to basically kind of sort of live on, even though they're completely different shape and form.
The only one that doesn't do that is actually the Omega Griever, because I think he's just hopped up on that green goo.
Yeah, they're
Because
just
the others, because
four of the bosses. Yeah.
yeah, four of the bosses were possessed, were Metroid fusioned, while the last boss, the Omega Griever, he was just hyped up on that good that good goo. But yeah, this game, I didn't mind the story. I thought that Silex was gonna be more prevalent and be a lot more appearing more. Apparently, the dude was just literally in a goddamn pod like fucking Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Dude was just hanging out in the Northern Crater, which is hilarious to think about. Now, do I think Silex's motive is that, from what I've gathered from the basic cutscene, anyways, is that I guess a war was happening. Samus probably failed to protect everybody. Everybody died, and he probably blamed Samus, or maybe something else happened, and he probably just blamed Samus. That's why he was
Maybe
very,
there was
very angry.
casualties, and maybe one of them was like maybe Silex, cared for, and blamed Samus for maybe the casualty that happened.
I mean, it seems to be the case. He seems to be just blaming Samus. That's why he just wants to kill Samus. He doesn't really care for everybody else. But the homies got him all Ganon style, Thanos style, basically keeping him in check. While we took the Infinity Stone with us.
That's basically what it was. And there's 5 of them too, so.
Oh god, it just keeps going. But overall, I enjoyed my experience with this game. It's not a game I'm gonna really return back to, but I do want to revisit it with the motion controls instead of using the Pro controller, because I played this whole game with the Pro controller. It felt very weird because if you
The
play
game really advertised on motion.
yeah, if you play the trilogy, it's better to be able to shoot with motion, to be honest, but whatever. And no, I do not use the mouse thing, not with this desk. I do not have the ability to play with the mouse. But yeah, Uh, that was our. We're probably missing anything or missing anything else we need to talk about with the
Mm,
game.
I
I've
do
been
like the
wanting.
lore for how why they're grievers and how they're trying to basically find a cure for the Lemore trying not to turn into grievers.
Yeah, unfortunately they weren't able to, and some of the experiments of them end up reverting back into
It's
grievers.
only in that ice area that you find out the lore about them, really.
Yeah, which is probably something you can miss if I think about it now.
Oh yeah, I feel like you can.
But yeah, I'm looking for. I hope this doesn't, because the sales of this game wasn't good. I
No,
feel that it's because it's a Prime game. Not a lot of people play Prime games because it's probably because it's
the
an
2D ones
FPS
are
game.
a little
Yeah.
bit more popular, I
Yeah.
feel.
So maybe not a lot of not a lot of people pick up the game. That's fine. I just hope
I
that this
think
doesn't mean that the
it's
series is dead. I don't really want it to just disappear again.
I think the part of the problem is because all the games the 1 through 3 are not easily accessible. Like 1, yes, because it has a Switch remaster, but 2 and 3, good luck.
Yeah, the
So
only
that's
way
a
you're playing two,
problem.
the only way you're playing 2 and 3 is if you own a Wii U and manage to get the trilogy off of the eShop, and if you buy now the thing is, what's kind of messed up. I remember that when the trilogy ended up on the eShop, the sales for the sale price for the trilogy, the physical, kind of went down because of the fact that it was available for the Wii U. But now that the eShop is gone, the scalpers are going
They
to
went back up
increase the
again.
price again, which is kind of
Yep.
bad. I still have the trilogy, but I can't play it because my Wii U is kind of like having issues or whatever. But I still own it. I'm hoping that they do remaster both 2 and 3. Hell, I kind of hope
I,
that they do that, so that way they can kind of end up helping people a little bit better with 2. Because 2, I still think is hard to 100% and also to navigate because it's a bit confusing. We had to have help
mhm.
from a friend to be able to actually get through it because it's kind of confusing in some cases, but it was interesting of a game though. I guess I could go ahead and give my ranking: Prime One,
Yeah, I was gonna say I can ask you
Prime
about that.
3, 2, and 4.
1, 3, 2, 4.
Yeah. The reason for 4 being the last is because I feel that since it's the shorter game of the 3, the music
Well,
didn't
4
really
now.
hit. Well, of the 4, the music didn't really hit compared to
Nope.
the other 3 games. The boss fights were interesting, but not that interesting for me. And the power-ups are unfortunately just copy and paste of things that we've already familiar with, so they weren't really that remotely interesting either.
No.
The thing that this game does have going for it, compared to 3, where Samus hung out with some bounty hunters, or I forgot what they were called in the third game, but the folks that basically all got corrupted by, in the story, they unfortunately didn't hang out with Samus for that long. But at least these guys managed to stay alive all the way up until the end. So I do like the Federation bros. It was kind of nice to have Samus have people that she can care about for the most part and hang out
Yeah.
with. It's cool to have like extra people. In all honesty, I thought that if they died and got knocked down, I thought it was like GG's. I didn't think you could revive them because there was like a part in the volcano area where I was like, this guy's getting hit really hard and he ain't recovering. It's like I'm not a fan of that. Um, but yeah, also the enemies just hit hard. I know that sounds weird. It's like, oh, why is it enemies hitting hard bad? Look, I played Silksong. I'm annoyed by that. I don't like it here because it's very easy to get hit if you ain't dodging properly. And I mean, mind you, we've only died like 3. Well, 2
Oh, the game overs, you mean,
times.
or
We technically died 2 times. We initially got the bad ending because we thought that it was gonna be like a different scene.
like a
It
choice
wasn't.
thing?
It wasn't a choice. It was just literally just press the button, guys. don't even bother looking. Just press the damn button. Anyways, that's it. That was
Yep.
our thoughts of Metroid Prime 4. What are your thoughts on it? Did you like the game? Did you enjoy it? What was your best moments? What was your bad moments? I guess. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time for when we're talking about something else. Latest.
Yeah. Laters.